Game4Grenfell, but right now I'm joined in the studio by two of the people responsible for putting on today's event, footballing legend Les Ferdinand and musician Marcus Mumford, as well as one of the survivors of the Grenfell Tower fire, Nick Burton. Gentlemen, welcome. Firstly, Les, how did Game4Grenfell come about?
Well, basically, when we saw the disaster and on the night, Tony Fernandez, the owner of the football club, tweeted about opening his doors for donations and relief and stuff for the victims and survivors.
Yep.
And started talking about what could we do. You know, I grew up on the estate. I grew up on Lancaster West Estate. So, you know, being here and being part of this community, I said, look, the one thing we could do is put a football game on. It's not about celebrity. It's about us coming together as a community, everyone coming together and putting on a day for them.
Yeah, and we should point out the London Community Foundation is an amazing charity. It's not just Queen's Park Rangers trying to raise money in a cheeky bid to buy Lionel Messi. Marcus, now a lot of people might be watching right now thinking, why is the guy from Mumford and Sons on telly talking about Grenfell?
Great question.
The answer is you saw it all unfold that night, did you not?
Yeah, so I could see it from my flat. I woke up very early in the morning and saw it out my window, and like many of the community who live around here, ran down. You know, it was shocking. It felt like a conflict zone, to be honest with you, and it was hectic. But it happened in our neighbourhood.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And what have you been doing since then?
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time down there, meeting with survivors, meeting with volunteers, trying to think creatively how we can support, and doing a football programme over the summer for kids was one way we thought we could help. For parents, it's been free childcare, and for kids, it's been something to do, making new memories. And then, of course, it culminates in today, which is great. This isn't the be-all and the end-all. This is just part of something, and it's pretty exciting to see how there's a real, you know, even the people who have signed up to play, just people really want to come and show support and love to this community, which really needs it, I think.
Yeah, and Nick, as one of the residents of Grenfell, what does it mean to you to see this support from the local community?
It's absolutely amazing, the community coming together and the support that we've been having from them, especially from the community centres like Rugby Portobello, St Clement James, Harrow Club. The centres have been the main lifeline for us because we know the area and they've helped us so much. It's been amazing. Well,
2,000 tickets have been given away to people directly affected by the Grenfell fire. They're going to be basically in that stand behind me throughout the game. They're filing in as we speak. And now Les and Nick, as kids, you guys used to play for opposing teams in the Grenfell area. How important is football to this community?
It is massive. I used to play for the Harrow Club. I used to play for Barron and Eagles, and you played with Robinson House.
Robinson House United.
Yeah, I never used to get on that well with them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we played, and it's a massive thing for this community, and you know, I'm so pleased that so many people have given up their time to be here today.
Well, and there's a lovely connection with Marcus as well, because you used to have a little figurine of Les, is that right?
Yeah, you know those little figures with the big heads?
Yeah.
Shearer, had Righty, had Les.
And I know that you've misplaced it, so...
No, there it is!
There you go.
Head's much smaller. Isn't it?
You look like that.
That's quality.
And for a bit of balance, Les, I know you're a massive music fan as well.
I am massive.
So we've got you some Coldplay tickets.
Very good. Great band.
Marcus, I read a quote from you saying you were looking forward to nutmegging someone.
Yeah.
Now, as someone who's a bit of an outsider to football, can you explain what nutmegging is at this time of day on television?
I could really have you on here. Yeah, no, it's when you put the ball through someone's legs, embarrass them.
Okay.
I don't think it's likely I'm going to be doing a lot of that. I haven't played football since April.
Yeah.
On all the ligaments in my ankle. Straight off for surgery.
Okay, so for those of you at home, nutmegging is when you put your ball between someone else's legs.
Yeah.
The football.
Ah, okay, right.
Yeah.
Is that related to squeaky bum time at all? Look, clearly today isn't just about entertainment, it's also about helping out. Half of the money raised here will go to those people who lost everything in the Grenfell Tower fire. And I mean everything. It'll make sure they've got all the things they need to get their lives back on track again. The other half of the money will help fund projects in the community that lift spirits and help deal with the trauma. Now, we've made it £3, so it won't hurt your pocket, but if you put all of those £3 together, it will make an amazing difference in the lives of people and a community that have been through a real nightmare. Just text Grenfell to 70007 to give £3. Each text costs £3 plus one standard rate message. Towards the end of the first half, 4 firefighters who were first on the scene at Grenfell Tower will take to the field to play. And in the 80th minute, Omar Salha, a volunteer who provided immediate support on the night, will also join the game, as well as 4 survivors of the fire itself. In fact, Marcus Mumford went to meet one of those survivors, a man called Paul, who's using the power of football to make a difference.
So obviously, morning of the fire, this was one of the first places that people came to, both survivors and residents, and also wider community wanted to drop off supplies. But this place has served a kind of unique role, like on the first day.
The residents, they see this place as a sanctuary and a safe zone. Imagine losing family members and friends. I think we need to remember that these people have lost everything. I think it's affected us all. It's something that you can only have nightmares about. So in many years to come, this community will still be rebuilding.
One person who's found support from this centre is 23-year-old Paul. He lived on the 6th floor of the tower and, like so many others, lost everything in the fire. With the help of Rugby Portobello, he has started to move on.
If it wasn't for places like this place that were open for Portobello Rugby, that was open for us even minutes after the fire was started, and they opened the doors to us, God knows what would have actually happened to the survivors that literally just come out of the building.
Yeah. So, Paul, how did the idea for Grenfell Athletic come about in the first place?
I literally came to the Portobello Rugby Club. I met a couple of the people that were working here, and I told them about how keen and how passionate I'm about football, and we came up with the idea of making a team for the community as well as for Grenfell. It could give people the chance to forget about all their worries and problems for that couple of hours that they play.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing thing for me, and hopefully I can get other people to do the same thing and feel the same passion that I feel.
Money you give by texting us today will help projects around the area aimed at rebuilding the community.
It's going to need more than one organisation and more than one neighbour. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, and imagine we've got many children.
This is a little message from Les Ferdinand.
Paul, congratulations, you've made the team for Saturday. Look forward to seeing you.
Teammate?
Oh, thank you very, very much. Really, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man.
For one young survivor of the Grenfell fire. His name is Arbem, and he's going to be one of the team mascots. Marcus Mumford caught up with his dad, Abraham, a little earlier. So, Abraham, you guys lived on the 7th floor. How's the last couple of months been for you?
Under circumstances, we are doing okay. But the last few months was, I could say, disastrous. I mean, we've been living in the hotel in one bed. It's very tough because I have this 5-year-old boy, and he lost everything, and we lost everything.
And your son, Abem, who we've seen, who's a mascot today, and I saw him on the first day of the football programme when it started 6 weeks ago.
Yes.
Can I ask you a bit about his experience this summer playing football down at the Westway?
Oh, he loved the playing at the Westway. You know, we think children, they don't know much, but they know lots of things. They understand their situations and their environment.
I think a lot of us have taken our lead from the community of survivors, the way that you have been good neighbours to each other and you have looked after each other in the wake of such a tragedy has been really inspiring. I think today's an opportunity for people to see that.
That building had a big community with a big heart, and everyone cared for each other. And no matter where you come from, at the end of the day, we are all the same.
Well, Abraham, thank you so much for talking.
Thank you very much.
Now, one of the people who's been instrumental in putting today's match together is musician Marcus Mumford of Mumford & Sons. Marcus lives locally and has been helping out in the community ever since the tragedy. One of the first people he met was a man who lived with his family on the 5th floor of the Grenfell Tower by the name of Shaheen, who will also be taking part in today's game. This week, Marcus caught up with Shaheen for a chat.
So, Shaheen, we met in the first week after the fire during a pretty frantic time. What has the response been like for you since then?
I think one thing that really was highlighted right from the beginning, I think from the moment of the fire, is the lack of response that we had to deal with as a community. As survivors, we were left to sort of fend for ourselves. We were being supported by our neighbours. You know, it took a lot of community groups to sort of start coming together, opening their doors to try and house people, try and, you know, help them out of the shock that they were facing. Grenfell Tower was full of dignified individuals.
Yeah.
You know, these people are young professionals that are an integral part of this community and this country.
Yeah.
And I think the tragedy really highlighted the wrong aspects of the community, instead of looking at what's important about the residents that managed to carry each other out of that building on their backs. The residents that stood up after the fire and really brought the community together even more, even though they, you know, everyone dealt with their own traumas.
Yeah.
Everyone stood up and said, you know what, we want to be united, we want to be dignified, and this is why today is so important to us.
Why is that?
For me to feel that there is people all around Britain seeing this today and realizing that there's such a dignity and humanity within this community, it really gives me a positive feeling that possibly in the future, maybe we can come together as a nation and really hold people accountable and shed some light and hope into the hearts of the survivors.
What are the lessons do you think we can learn from this tragedy?
I think communities all around Britain need to be supported by local government and central government to be able to give back to the children. I hope and pray no community in England ever has to go through something like Grenfell Tower. That disaster that we went through should never happen again. And the inquiry and central government's job is to make sure that communities never go through the neglect that happened at Grenfell Tower.
What's next for this community?
I think the best thing anyone could do right now is to look at the needs of the residents, and that's the starting point. I think people need to be dealt with in an individual way. You know, families have specific needs that are not being met. This is an example in regards to social neglect. This is an example in regards to how communities can really be supported moving forward. This is important that these lives are not forgotten about. And the first thing we should always remember, and the last thing we should always remember, is that these lives were lost unnecessarily.
As Shaheen said, the issues surrounding the Grenfell Tower fire aren't simple. It's about what's happened in the past, what happened that night, and what will happen in the future. There's a lot that has to be dealt with, but what is simple is what you can do. To give £3, please text Grenfell to 70007. Each text costs £3 plus one standard rate message, or you can give more online by visiting the website on your screen. All proceeds go to the people who lost everything in the fire, as well as community projects in the area that give kids a place to have fun, to do sport, to make friends, basically to start to make life good again. Now, we've managed to get exclusive access with our cameras to the players' dressing rooms. We're going to cross to Team Ferdinand first to see what's going on.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank every single one of you for coming up here today and giving your time for this great cause. It's really important to all the survivors and supporters out there, community. It's really important to me in this club as well, so I really thank you for your time. Football's a really simple game. Get it and give it to those that can play. So that's what I expect to see, yeah? Just get it and give it to those that can play. Shep wants to say something. So you, Shaheem, who is one of the survivors, wanted to say a few words, so you stand up and say what you got to say.
I want to thank everyone for being here today. You people are amazing to be here today for the survivors. I want to thank everyone that was part of bringing this together. This means a lot, not just to the survivors of Grenfell Tower, but to the community. This is all about the community. We need the nation to stand up together, be united, be one voice. Together we can make sure that accountability is held for the people that lost their lives. The first and foremost important thing always is to remember those souls that died in that tower, and they will never be forgotten. And it's up to us, it's our responsibility. Every single soul in this room has a responsibility. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your ongoing support, and let's make sure that we can continue this. I want to hear some screams, I want to hear some shouts. I want everyone to get up right now. I want all of you to stand up together right now. I want us to bring our arms together, and we want to make sure that Grenfell's name from this forward goes down in history. We will never forget Grenfell, so I want everyone to shout at me, Grenfell! 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 Grenfell!
I want to play! I want to play! I want to play now! I'm putting myself in the team! I want to play now!
Well, it's great to be here on this very special day. A day which brings this corner of West London together with a who's who of sports, music and film on show. Olympic champions, football greats, superstars from the world of show business too, along with survivors of the Grenfell disaster and members of the emergency services. Each player here flanked by two children, all survivors from Grenfell. And amongst the mascots is young Abham, who was a young man who, of course, lost so much in that disaster just a couple of months ago. It is one huge act of togetherness to pay tribute to the victims and to raise as many funds as we possibly can for those who still require our help. Well, it's been a busy old week, Matt, of transfer sagas and big money moves, some involving your beloved Arsenal. What do you make of the two squads we have here today?
Well, I think, as I say, I'm particularly looking at the defence here today. I think any of these could have been signed. Any of these could have been signed for Arsenal. Hello, by the way, everybody. This is my first time commentating, probably my last. I apologise in advance for everything I say.
I'm sure there'll be some pearls of wisdom in there. Of course, it's a lovely day here with the sun shining. Loftus Road only a mile away from the tower, where the events of that night left such a lasting mark on me.
Many times throughout the match.
Well, there's the man who made the headlines last night with his transfer. Jose Mourinho. It's an all-star cast list here. No lack of endurance for Team Ferdinand with the four-time Olympic champion Mo Farah in their starting 11. And they've also got 5 former Queen's Park Rangers players in their team. One who is still going strong at the age of 36 now, Peter Crouch. They have the Arsenal legend Paul Merson and the Arsenal fan Jack Whitehall on their bench as well. There is Peter Crouch, who scored a goal this time last week for Stoke against West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League.
Peter Crouch is still playing in the Premiership, but he's been given special...
Important moment, underlining just why we're all here today and why you are all watching back at home as well. And just to mention two of those who brought out the wreath there, the co-chairman of Queen's Park Rangers, Tony Fernandez, and also Nick Burton, a survivor of the fire. He and his wife lived up on the 19th floor of Grenfell Tower. An example of so many people who had so much of their livelihood so cruelly taken away.
Now, we're here to watch some football, but we are also here to raise some money. You can give £3 to the London Community Foundation by texting Grenfell to 70007. Each text costs £3 plus one standard rate message. You must be 16 or over, and please ask the bill player's permission. And 100% of your donation will go to the London Community Foundation. So thank you.
Yes, please give generously. Also more than 2,000 free tickets which have been taken up by volunteers, survivors, police, ambulance and fire service men and women. They're actually sat down just beneath us, beneath the gantry here. And great to have them here too, inside this famous old ground, the home of Queen's Park Rangers now for 100 years. So away we go. The game for Grenfell is underway. So much planning and preparation. And now the main act is upon us. It's Jamie Redknapp in the action straight away for Team Shearer. Team Shearer are in the green and black, playing from left to right in the first half, and the first take there for David Seaman. One of so many players, David Seaman, who has QPR in their past. He was here before moving on to Arsenal. Ben Shepherd now for Team Ferdinand. He chased for Marcus Mumford, but it's safety back with David James, who has taken the first comedy dive of the day.
He has. And that's on our drinking game style list. Who will take the first comedy dive? It was David James. And that is your cue, viewer, to text Grenfell to 70007. 70007. Please give your £3 to Grenfell now.
There's a chance here straight away for Damien Lewis. And still a chance as Sinclair goes in. It's actually Mo Farah who has lashed the ball home there. Well, we had the Mobots in the first 90 seconds. What a start for Team Ferdinand. And Mo Farah on the score sheet.
David James will be furious. But everyone else is delighted.
Not best defending there, Matt, but Mo Farah there to pounce with a turn of pace and a fine finish too.
Yeah, there was a kerfuffle in the box, it's fair to say. So rumours of Mo Farah retiring, I think, were a bit premature, because it looks like he's got a career lined up as a footballer at this rate.
Well, he is crouched now. Mumford. Fine start this from Team Ferdinand. Farah once again now with the fleet of foot. Jamie Redknapp back with the tackle, but it breaks the way of Lewis. Chris Sutton back there defending for Team Shearer. It is bumper time in this bingo game. We had the Mobot there very early on, the comedy dive. Don't forget, there are reasons to give your £3, make your donation, texting £3 with the word Grenfell to 70007.
Of course, we're here to raise money for charity, but don't underestimate how competitive these players are in these matches. Ralph Little, who's playing today, once told me that he scored against a Manchester United 11 and refused to celebrate because he's such a big Man United fan.
Well, many of these celebrities we're watching here have played some non-league football, certainly some 5-a-side, 7-a-side games, and some of them, like Damien Lewis here, not too far away from here. There's Ollie Mers, who does still play some non-league football with Coggeshall Town. Team based in Essex in the Eastern Counties Premier Division.
Look at Damien Lewis.
It's a wonderful run.
Oh,
it's enough power, though, on the effort.
With his ginger locks, that could be Kevin De Bruyne, couldn't it? Or Gordon Strachan, at the very least.
There's Redknapp. Spraying the pass up towards Jamie Dornan. Here's Shepherd. Back in that right-back spot for Team Ferdinand. This is Clint Hill. That's a good weighted pass there to Ollie Mers, who trying to get him behind his man, Ralph Little. Here's Sinclair. Terrible start for Team Shearer. Even off the back of that wonderfully rousing pre-match pep talk. Little once again. Sinclair. Dornan. Well, touched on well, they could be in here, Team Shearer. The first sight of goal of the game, but good blocking defence by Danny Gabardon. You have a strong back line, Team Ferdinand, with Clint Hill and Danny Gabardon. And Ben Shepherd, too, at fullback, is a very decent footballer, very fit athlete, too. There's the coach of Team Shearer, Mr. Alan Shearer, who's hoping to play himself, but you can see there that broken wrist which put pay to that.
Oh, how convenient.
Fell off his bike
on
holiday in Portugal.
Oh, yeah, how convenient. He was just terrified to face Ollie Mers.
I have to ask you, Matt, why you're up here next to me, not down there yourself?
Well, because if I was down there, I'd get mistaken for the ball. Look at the shape of me. I have been asked to play in these charity matches, but if you think I'm a bad commentator, you should see me trying to play. I once saved a goal at school. I saved a shot, and I only saved it by mistake. I'm useless. Are you any good at the game?
I speak better than I play, thankfully. Marcus Mumford, bit of a heavy touch there by him, but he's showing the endeavour to win the ball back and find Lewis, who has Crouch up there with him. They could be in here. It's all about the timing of the pass from Damien Lewis. Put the ball to No rush, Matt. Take your time. Here's Red. Now Lee Mack. There's a decent ball, and that stretching was Danny from McFly. And two Bolton boys in this team Shearer side, along with Ralph Little.
Danny from McFly once came to my dressing room on the Little Britain tour and threw some strawberries out of the window at passers-by. He's a hooligan and a thug.
Not a bad footballer. Here's DJ Spoonie. Three wait for a ball, then it was a terrific ball too. It's come all the way for Crouch. And now Mumford. Little in with the tackle. Crouch again. Neatly done by him. There's Walker clear. Crouch. Lee Mack, anywhere will do. A case of habit there from him. Oof. Just over 8 minutes in, a 1-goal advantage for Team Ferdinand. They go for number 2 here with Crouch, and that's a flamboyant save from David James.
Yeah, that's almost a comedy dive, I would say. I think that's a good opportunity to text Grenfell to 70007. We filmed some adverts for Little Britain, and David James was in them, and I desperately tried to score against him, but I wasn't lucky.
He's a big guy, and here he is once again, David James. Ooh, that's not what he was intending there. He won more than 50 caps over 13 years playing for England, David James. It's had a busy old start. Well, let's get our first check-in with our roving reporter, Cammy, who's down pitch side.
Back to you, Joe.
Well, there is a chance here perhaps for Cohen, but he was well tackled by Gavin. Now Dornan, and Shepherd was in the way. Sinclair. Now Redknapp.
I wouldn't want to foul Jamie Dornan. You don't want to get on the wrong side of he could probably come back on with a whip, wouldn't he?
Here's Redknapp. Mack, taken up by Redknapp again. Well, on the breakaway, this is where Team Ferdinand have looked so lively, and no wonder with Mo Farah in the side. It's a good ball there by Crouch. He will only play the first 20 minutes, which might be a relief for Team Shearer.
It's a relief for me because he's too tall. I can't fit him into my frame of vision.
Oh, great to have him here with us today. Don't forget, it's plenty of fun, but a very serious and important cause as well, which brings us all here. And please give generously, if you possibly can, to give £3. Text Grenfell to 70007. Each text costs £3 plus one standard rate message. And if you want to give more, you can do just that by going to the website on your screen there.
Do you want to hear my impression of a commentator? Here we go.
Go for it.
Here we go.
Well, David James has definitely been the busier of the two keepers. I wonder what Alan Shearer will be saying to his team at half-time.
There, that was my impression.
You've cracked it straight away.
Thank you.
You're out of a job now. He is Mo Farah. That's not the pass he was intending. Danny from McFly charging away with a turn of post there himself. It's Farah tracking back, but on goes Danny from McFly and poked in. Well, they were appealing for offside, but there was no flag forthcoming. And Team Shearer are back level, and it's their captain, Trevor Sinclair, who scored the goal, but the plaudits belong to Danny Jones.
Well done, man from McFly. I don't know how onside that was. I think we'd have to use the word onside quite loosely.
Well, we're hoping some generosity being shown from you at home. You had some here from the match officials. That's not what Les Ferdinand was hoping now with Chris Coman.
As you
can't keep up with the play. He's a
Oh, Danny goes through and puts it away.
absolutely ridiculous. Like where was it? He's admiring the game as well. You know what I mean? So,
As director of football for QPR, are you going to sign Mo Farah?
he's looking.
Vicious try there by Crouch, and here is Farah. And a big part of the action early on.
Joe, who's been the standout player for you so far in this first 13 minutes and 40 seconds of the game?
Normally I ask the questions, but I'll answer you. I would go with Mo Farah. Scored a goal. Plenty of running, as you might expect. Obviously finished his track career, only last weekend. He has the Great North Run, I think, next weekend as well. He's trying to win that for a record 4th year in a row. He's going to pull something today.
And to follow on from that, who has most disappointed you so far?
Early days, Matt, but
Ever the diplomat.
not seen too much of Ollie Mers yet. He's been a veteran of many of these charitable games over the years. There was one a few years back where he was the victim of a strong tackle by certain Jose Mourinho, who of course is part of the people who are here today. Great to have him with us too. Here is Farah. Damien Lewis into the path of Crouch. That's well read by Ralph Little. Redknapp. It's Danny Jones again. Playing at left back for Team Ferdinand there, wearing number 3 is Clive Wilson, who's 55 years of age now, but in terrific shape. Here is Mers, trying to play his part, but Chris Sutton there, who's playing that back line for Team Shearer, did well.
So Chris Sutton used to play much further forward, didn't he?
Yeah, there were a few spells in his career, I think towards the latter end of it, where he moved back into a more defensive area. But remember, he was alongside Alan Shearer when Blackburn won the title, 22 years ago now? Here's Mumford. Mo Farah. Mumford, Farah again. Lewis and Mumford on the turn. They're almost toying with Team Shearer back there. It's certainly the Team Ferdinand side who are posing the early questions, and you can see here we're going to have our first raft of substitutions coming up shortly. You have to bear with us with some of these. We're going to have nearly 60 players on the pitch at various times today, so we'll do our best clearing up who comes on and off. There's Darren Campbell for Team Shearer. Referee playing the advantage here. Campbell waiting for some movement. It's provided by Sinclair. Tackle by Clint Hill. Well, that goal he scored here, I mentioned, 1997 in the FA Cup tie against Barnsley. Overhead kick, which I'm sure Matt might have pulled off at sometimes throughout his amateur career.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
16 goals he scored for QPR. He was actually playing non-league football himself only a few years ago with Lancaster City. Now, here's Marcus Mumford, one-on-one with Des Walker.
Oh, I was going to say one-on-one, and then you got in there first.
Not heard your cliche yet either. Still waiting for that.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm sick as a parrot. Well, I'm not sure why, but...
Here's Sinclair. Bit of time for Jamie Redknapp.
Now, why are people booing Jamie Redknapp?
Your guess might be better than mine. Here he is once again. Now Campbell. Just slipped there by Farah in the box. Ben Cohen Going up for the header, but behind him was Stanley Gabberton, former Welsh international. Ollie Mears. Bent the pass there beautifully. Scampering is Marcus Mumford.
There's only Crouchy in the box. Oh, Lewis has joined him.
The touch off Des Walker, which sends the ball behind for a corner. And they played at 2 major finals for England. Part of the squad which reached a World Cup semi-final back in 1990.
I would never boo Jamie Redknapp. I think he's lovely.
There's his father Harry, with a former manager of Queen's Park Rangers. Here's Mears with the volley. Not quite what he was intending. Eight years ago now he emerged on X Factor. Makes us all feel quite old now.
He's done ever so well though, hasn't he?
He certainly has. I think he'll be out there for a while today. We are going to have all these changes, but one of the fitter players on Team Ferdinand.
That was the one my mum was most excited about when she heard Ollie Mears was here.
Here's Mears again. To excite his watching fans. Redknapp. Here's Sinclair. Now Darren Campbell has sprung the offside trap. Looking towards Ben Cohen. Big cheer with Mo Farah in possession, but it was a stray pass by him. Big Arsenal fan, Mo Farah. He has trained with the first team at times.
He's just a man with great taste.
Goodness me, man. Have a look at this. Paul Merson.
Look at him tucking into that Black Forest Gatto there.
Getting stuck in, why not?
I think to acknowledge that, everybody watching should text Grenfell to 70007, don't you?
It was a family-sized Gatto too, so all the family should do their bit. It's coming on shortly as well. Here's Dornan. This time the flag has gone up. So that linesman is awake on this near side of the pitch. We're going to have several substitutions then now. Marcus Mumford, the captain, amongst those departing. We'll see him again later on. Stay tuned for a special act at half-time in this match today. Stan Coddymore and Jack Whitehall. A duo coming on here for Team Ferdinand. Peter Crouch departing. There's a big game coming up next week.
Earlier on we met Nick Burton, who lived on the 19th floor of Grenfell Tower and is lucky to have made it out alive. This week, Marcus Mumford caught up with him.
Since the fire, the survivors have united in support of one another, and they are truly inspirational. Who is a full-time Peely, lived in 33 years. Until that night, everything changed.
I started getting phone calls from my friend. He was saying, Nick, you need to... I said to someone, I can't need to... I won't make it. We've got 38 flights of stairs to go down. I couldn't carry her down. We were just trapped in our bathroom. So it just seemed an age. And then suddenly I heard it's like... It just seemed an age. And then suddenly I heard a noise outside. Comforting voice like, we know you're there. Get ready. The smoke was so thick. And so I just saw an arm come out and kind of grab my wife on the right-hand side, and another arm come for me, and then we're going towards the stairwell, and then I lost my wife, and I was screaming then, like, where's my wife, where's my wife? There's 38 flights or more of stairs to get down to the ground floor.
From the 19th floor?
From the 19th floor. And then finally I saw my wife coming through the door. There's 4 fire officers holding her, and as I was going across the green, I just looked back the once. I just saw the tower. It was just, it stayed in my mind forever. It just that you know, the silhouette and just the fire. So then we got taken over to the triage area. Firefighters, I mean, it's hard to think the horrors and the things that they've seen, and they need a lot of, you know, a lot of love and a lot of respect, because these are just heroes. It's just amazing what they've done, and they came and got us. So, yeah. They came and got us, so that's the most important thing. And they tried and tried, you know, going back in again and back in again to help people to get out of that tower.
At least 80 people lost their lives in the tower at Grenfell. Countless families are having to start again. Some of the money raised from this game, the bit that isn't going directly to survivors, will be supporting community centres and then football programmes for children in the wider community.
The things that these kids have seen, you know, either they came out the tower or they've actually watched this tower inferno, and that will stick in their memories forever. Now with the Game4Grenfell, they will say, I was there, and they'll kind of offset the horrors that they've seen. So it's so important, and the funding, you know, they need to keep it up.
Right now, you can text Grenfell to 70007 to give £3. Thank you.
You can't drive past Grenfell Tower without being moved by it, and you can't meet anyone in this community who hasn't been affected by it. Now really is your chance to help by texting Grenfell to 70007 and giving £3 to those who need it. And now, with a very special performance, it's Emily Sandé.
How you doing, everybody? Okay?
Well, sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, and we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, but it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Come on. Swallow your pride if there are things you need to follow. For no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let show.
So lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend, and I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. Say,
We all need somebody to lean on.
and I just might have a problem that you'll understand.
We all need somebody to lean on.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. Yeah, I'll help you carry on. No, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a loss you have to bear that you
sure whether Jarvis Cocker nicked them off Chris Kamara. All sorts of changes here. I wonder what some of these changes be with who's in mind.
Absolutely.
This is where maybe Les and Alan are thinking about who's best suited from 12 yards. And it will be the two goalkeepers on the pitch who will take part in the shootout. Messrs Given and Mourinho, which may be interesting viewing.
I wonder if, I mean, Shearer's injury, it's an arm injury, would that prevent him from taking a penalty?
Oh, yeah. Consult the rule book for that one. We'll just confirm here, all the celebrities now, we're told, are on the pitch for Team Ferdinand. And also the survivors and firefighters too. Long ball there by Little. It's a decent ball as well. Looking towards Westwick. There's confusion there at the back. Marcus Mumford back on the pitch again. Off the ball away towards safety.
Are you saying Team Ferdinand have taken off their ex-pros?
That's right, yeah.
Well, that's
brave move.
It's a brave move considering penalties are looming.
And a foul being given here by the referee. It's a free kick for Team Shearer as we edge towards the last couple of minutes of normal time. Howard couldn't get there in time. Behind it goes for a goal kick. There's James Bay with a header. Mumford. No chances taken by him.
It's a better clearance than I've seen some professionals make.
Stage of the game now where no one wants to make a mistake which could be so decisive. Howard. There's a nice pass. This is Talabi. Mumford again defending well. That ball may have just squirmed behind. It did. It is going to be a corner.
Tired legs now. It's asking a lot of these players.
Here's Howard. Fresh legs, Russell Howard.
No, I'm talking about me.
Farah, a good jump from him.
Me, I've been standing up for the last hour and a half. I'm talking about my own tired legs.
We're not done yet. We'll still be here for a while if we have the shootout. We're heading that way. Little. Howard. There's space to his right. And they're in now, Team Shearer. This could be the chance to win the game. Bobby Ross, good save by Given. Ross again. Tussling with Whitehall. He had Howard there in support. A dramatic finale. And it's not done yet. Now in the final minutes. Mo Farah. What does he lack left in the tank? I'd imagine plenty. Mistake by Jarvis Cocker, but Little was mopping up behind it. Mumford. Going to send forward, what, 4 players in the box here waiting for the ball bin. Foster with the cross, and there's Jose Mourinho. So we're not done yet in the game for Grenfell. 2-2 after 90 minutes, which means to determine the winner, we will have a shootout involving these celebrities. And don't miss that. The final score is 2-2.
Welcome back to Game4Grenfell, where, look, we've had an amazing time here at Loftus Road, but let's not forget the reason we're here. Grenfell Tower is just under a mile away and is a reminder of how many people lost their homes and saw horrific scenes that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. The money raised today will go to those people, as well as to projects in the wider community that offer support and help create happy memories for those who've suffered. Please do whatever to give £3 just fell to 7 Next costs £3 standard rate message. And look, if you need any more incentive to give, this is why we're here today.
The emergency services are attending a huge fire at a block of flats in West London.
In my 29 years being a firefighter, I have never, ever seen anything of this scale.
It's something that you can only have nightmares about.
Under a trillion stars, we danced on top of cars, took pictures of the stage, so far from where we are. They made me think of you, they made me think of you.
We had like the worst of times and then the best of human nature.
If it wasn't for places like this place that were open for us minutes after the fire was started and they opened the doors to us, God knows what would have actually happened to the survivors that just literally just come out of the building.
By your side, if these wings could fly, for the rest of my life.
These are just heroes. It's just amazing what they've done. And they came and got us.
If these wings could fly, for the rest of my
life. We're back in the studio. We're joined by most of the heroes of today, but I want to point out this man here, Matt Lucas. Matt, round of applause, Matt Lucas.
Thank you.
Fantastic commentary.
Thank you. I feel like your bouncer here, stood here. Can I just say how lovely it was to watch a match in which Arsenal didn't lose? It was just a delight. Thank you for having me.
Alan Shearer, I'm going to ask, was Jose Mourinho the wrong call?
No, I didn't have any choice. He said, I am taking a penalty. I'm not going to argue with him with his record.
Right. How nerve-wracking was it giving, the half-time speech and even the pre-match speech with him just sitting there watching?
No, he was great fun. He mixed in with all the guys. He was desperate to be involved. He was just brilliant, as was everyone in that dressing room. We've had such a great day.
Yeah. And Les, I mean, what's the injury?
It looks like I've torn my Achilles, unfortunately. No, not how I wanted it to go, but this time happens when you're 50 years of age and you don't warm up properly. This is the sort of thing that can happen.
I mean, properly or at all?
Looks like properly.
So you did warm up?
I didn't. No,
that's exactly my point.
No, but as Alan said, it's not about my Achilles or anything else. It's about the day, and everyone here has been absolutely fantastic, and it's exactly how I wanted it to be. And it's I think a lot of people will go home happy today in the community. People care.
Undoubtedly, Mark as well put on an amazing. How did it feel for you out there? What was the atmosphere like?
Really beautiful. You could tell that there's just so much love in, around, and just it was so respectful. You could really feel the emotion as I was singing.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Russell Howard.
Yes.
I said it before the game. I'm going to say it again. You were the most attractive comedian on the field.
Well, that narrows it down, doesn't it? Me and Lee Mack. What about Jack? Jack's a very handsome man.
Oh, no, I think you beat Jack Whitehall.
Okay.
Yeah, do you think? Yeah. How are you feeling after all that?
Oh, I loved it, yeah. Just a pleasure, like everyone says, such a tragedy, and just to do your own, to be part of it and to raise as much money as we've done, it's brilliant, But it goes to all these boys for organising it.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And Jamie, who do you think who surprised you today?
Mo Farah, you have to be honest. I wasn't too happy with him being in my area. I mean, he kept running past me, gliding. I was thinking, Mo, please just stand still for a minute. I mean, he's an incredible athlete. But it was a pleasure. I think we all enjoy it as players. I think Les would agree that when you're out there, it's great to play against people from different walks of life, and the atmosphere today and the people to turn up. It's been a really, really great day. I've enjoyed it.
It has, and Cammy has been amazing. You've been the paragon of professionalism, Cammy. Who have you got right now?
Adam, I have got the winning goal scorer, Ollie Merz. Ollie, You're a Manchester United fan. Your manager, Jose Mourinho's in goal, and you don't give him any sympathy whatsoever.
I couldn't. He's a winner like me, so I had to stick it in there. And listen, I didn't even know it was the last penalty, if I'm honest. You can see my reaction. I thought we were still going. Thought we had a couple left. So no, listen, absolute amazing to score the winning penalty. But what a great day it's been. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Did you say out to Jose?
Huh?
Did you say anything to Jose?
No, not at all, no. He'll be devastated on the way home, I'm sure. but no, it was just nice to score. You know, we had a great day today, haven't we, Crouchy? It's been fantastic. So it's just lovely to see everyone come together as a community, QPR, everyone, for Grenfell Tower. So, you know, people died and they won't be forgotten. So we'll keep doing this. And, you know, it was a real pleasure today to see everyone come together like that. So, real pleasure.
Great stuff. Crouchy, I just had a phone call from Mark Hughes. Did he get any injuries?
No, I'm all right. I'm used to 20 minutes anyway. That's what I get. So, at least I started this game today, so I was pleased with that.
Tell the gaffer.
Yeah, let him know.
But thanks ever so much for coming, and thanks, Ollie.
Pleasure.
Back to you, Adam.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thanks, Cammy. I'm joined with a whole bunch more people here who have played an amazing game. Shaheen, where is Shaheen? As one of one of the residents and one of the people who have been so involved in the community here around Grenfell. I mean, how did it feel when you took to the pitch?
It was amazing. This is probably the most unreal experience of my whole life. And coming from everything we've experienced in the last 3 months, the community really coming together, just uplifting us from the ashes of the tower and everything that we've gone through. And to then this to be sort of the first time that I think the whole community has really come together in an experience like this was unbelievable, and thank you to everyone.
Was that feeling topped when you actually took the penalty?
No, the penalty, I just went blank, and I just saw sort of an evil man in front of me that wanted to just ruin my life, and he pointed to a direction, and I said, I'm going to call his bluff, and I went to the same direction, but, you know, I showed him, even if you stand in one way, you know, still going to go through.
Yeah. And what was it, you know, your team, it was virtually the first 4 people who took penalties were survivors or firefighters or volunteers, and then Ollie Mers, so all people who needed a break. Marcus, as one of the organisers, and Les, did you imagine, is this everything you hoped that the game would be?
This is way beyond my expectations. Just the feeling, actually, in the stadium as well. I mean, A, it sold out, which was just, like, amazing, absolutely amazing. And B, just seeing everyone's faces when they walked in the door, people who are involved, people from the community that we know, just grins ear to ear. And that was the point of today, really, to have people's voices heard, to raise some money, and really to bring some joy, you know, to this part of London that needs it. And, you know, love is an airy-fairy word, but I think people feel really loved today, and that means a lot.
People definitely chose love today.
From my perspective, I think, was it everything I expected? Yeah. Because I come from this community and I know what this community is all about.
Yeah.
And when people need to come together, they do come together. And they showed that today, and I'm so happy.
What will this mean? What difference will this make to people's lives?
I think they know that people care.
Yeah.
They really do, but it doesn't stop here. This is just part of the process. You know, we need to take this on, and as a club and as individuals, we need to be more involved and make sure that we see this through and make sure the people for Grenfell get justice.
Yep. And Ian, I just want to point out, it was mentioned a couple of times, you were the oldest person on the pitch.
Is that true? Thank you so much for that.
At no point did it show. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good, but yeah, I was ready to come off, man.
You dealt with
Frank going on. My favourite moment was hitting my own goalpost. Very clearly the clarion call, take your time. Panic, bounced off my own goalpost.
There's nothing without a sword.
And you've got a bit of a problem with... Go on. You had a bit of a complaint.
Well, no, I didn't think it was a free kick. When I tackled Ralph, I thought it was pretty fair compared to what Jamie tried to do to me in the first half.
Very nearly arrested for it.
Was I really? I got the ball this time, Jamie.
No, it was vicious.
Tackle from behind, wasn't it?
But it all meant Trevor got to shine.
Who would you say was the biggest disappointment today?
A bit disappointed Les didn't last longer because you led. But I think, did you have some money on that, Les?
Yeah, I had a little bit on it. That would come off after about 5 minutes.
There was do you know what? There was nothing disappointing. It's just
exactly.
the most extraordinary. Having played in one or two of these games, Danny and I are very lucky to have had the chance to do that.
And it was a very special atmosphere. It was very special playing alongside these guys, talking to Marcus about all the time that's been taken by the team that put this together, just to go down and listen to what the community need, what the community felt was going to be the right thing to do. And you got that sense today. Everywhere we looked, people were just delighted to be out in the sunshine and really celebrating this part of London, which is a very, very special part of London. And it felt like a really exciting sort of moment. You know, everyone was talking about it.
Really proud to be part of the team.
Yeah, and listen, there was a lot of love for you on Twitter for your commentary
really?
as well.
Oh, I didn't look, but you did a wonderful job, and because I was watching the feed up there, and you did a wonderful job. Congratulations. And I did just say that your tackle on Jack Whitehall did not go unnoticed.
It didn't go unnoticed. It's a charity day, it's for it, and you had to ruin it. Unacceptable.
Yeah. We called you out. We called you out for that.
Thank you. That was a lot of effort. I was waiting. That's been brewing up in me for months and months.
It's good, really good. It's so much.
I showed him up in the
really
shower afterwards.
I do have to wrap up, and Jack, I can't believe I'm saying this, but can you step that way? You're in my life.
Honestly, I'll just keep walking until I hit the sea.
Let's be honest, I've always been like this. There's no changing. It's been... It's been an amazing day here. That was literally camouflage. You can still donate by texting Grenfell to 70007. Text costs £3 plus one standard rate message. You must be 16 years or older. Please ask the bill payer's permission. But for now, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone involved in today's game, but in particular, Marcus Mumford, Les Ferdinand, and everyone at Queen's Park Rangers for putting the match on in the first place. All the players who gave up their time to be here today.